Okay, so this most likely won't be a very long video one because it's bloody hot. So that's why my forehead's on display because it's too hot for a fringe. A little beads of sweat, nice. And basically, another reason wasn't a big week for buying comics this week. So I'm going to show what I've got for my new releases. But I did get there's a half price offer on recent releases as well from a web shop. So I got some of those as well. So I'll show you what I got. So look at the new comics first. So first up is Batman 147. This is part 3 of Dark Prisons by Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez. Artwork's really good. So yeah, the artwork's really good. There's a backup strip as well by Chip Zdarsky and Jorge, not Jorge Jimenez. Who's the art? Miguel Mendoza. And so it's carrying on with the Zaranar thing. I'm really not enjoying Zaranar. I hate the character. I really do dislike the character. The character. I just think, does Chip Zdarsky hate Batman? Because he's basically done away with everything that I love about Batman. And when he's with Jorge Jimenez, at least the artwork's good, so it pulls you out of it a bit. But this whole Zaranar thing's been going on for so long. It's just a stupid storyline. It doesn't even explain really how they were able to transfer this made-up character in Batman's brain to inhabit the body of this robot. It makes no fucking sense. I know it's a comic and suspend your disbelief, but what I like about Batman is it was always rooted in much more of a slightly more realistic scenario than, say, some of the other superhero comics. It's just silly. I hate to think about him having a metal hand because it doesn't correlate with the other Batman comics. It's just like, why is he doing all this to Batman? It made him an asshole for like 12 issues, a complete dickhead who nobody would want to know. It's just flabby, it's dragging on. I have not got a clue where it's going to go, and I'm really just not enjoying it. So there we go. It's not badly written, it just doesn't feel like I'm reading a Batman comic still. I'm trying. I always say don't be a angry reader. Don't be an angry reader where you're reading it just for the sake of because it's the character. But for some reason I am with this one, and I just do not like what he's doing with the comic. I don't like how he's brought this own character into this big, almost like a totalitarian dictator of Gotham. It's ridiculous. So artwork, 9 out of 10. And the other thing I don't like as well, this Doctor, what they've got in here, who apparently because of Chip Zdarsky's the Night series what he did, where he's kind of like rewriting canon. Um, I don't understand why they just didn't make it Hugo Strange. Hugo Strange is a brilliant Batman character. But instead of using this half-baked like Hugo Strange light character, so that frustrates me. So story, I'll give 5 out of 10. Not badly written, but I'm just not enjoying it. And artwork for both strips. First strip, 9 out of 10. Backup strip, um, Hay Fever, 7 out of 10. So something with a better rating would be The One Hand by Ramvi and Lawrence Campbell. The artwork in here has always been really, really good. Really nice, stylish thing. And as I've said many times with each issue, I get such a Blade Runner vibe from this comic. It's like a retro futuristic crime noir thriller. So it's set years and years and years in the future, but it's very, very retro in feel. So this is one that goes side by side with the Six Fingers, which is written by Dan Matters. The name of the artist passes me by. Sumit Kumar for Six Fingers, and they married totally perfectly together. So you do really need to get both series because the Six Fingers is from the serial killer's point of view, and this is from the disgraced detective's point of view. And the mystery is slowly meshing together now. So it's going to be it's going to be a rewarding payoff in the final episode. So this is really ramping everything up. I don't want to go into it at all because you really need to experience this comic for yourself. All I can say is Pep writing really, really. He's a bit of a dick, the character, but he's interesting as well. Great dialogue, great artwork, and I just like how both series blend perfectly. It's nice having a series of books written by two people who are clearly friends, and they've got this great symbiosis. So 9 out of 10. And the best comic of the week goes to one that I wasn't going to pick up because I didn't really know anything about it, but I saw it on the shelf, so I've now got it on my pull list. And it's Ain't No Grave by Scotty Young on writing and Jorge Corona, who's now the Transformers artist on artwork. The artwork in this is just jaw-droppingly beautiful. It's a perfect Weird West comic. So it's a Wild West comic with hints of the supernatural. So it's got shades of Jonah Hex, but like the Vertigo Jonah Hex. But in this instance, the main protagonist is this mysterious woman who has got an illicit past, but she's settled down. But now she's got this illness, this life-limiting illness, and instead of looking for a cure where she gets an extra year with her family, she decides instead to confront death himself. And yeah, it's a nice chunky comic, $5.99, but there's over 40 pages. Gorgeous artwork, very high quality paper, just beautiful. One of the most beautiful comics I've read this year. Yeah, it's a perfect comic. 10 out of 10. Do buy this, it's worth getting. I think it's only 5 issues. He's, like I said, he's on Transformers Think now, but I'm not too fussed about that. I just don't like the concept of Transformers. It's not my thing. Not that I'm saying it's a bad comic, far from it, but I'm getting my Jorge Corona fix with Ain't No Grave. Really, really good Western. And another comic that could have been there's a few comics that could have been contenders for comic of the week this week. And next up is Geiger. Love that cover. Love, love, love. I love Ghost Machine. They are firing on all cylinders. These are creative teams working at the height of their talent. And this is solid writing from Jeff Johns. It's not overly verbose. He lets the artwork shine. He lets Gary Frank lead with the storytelling, and he fills in the blanks with his writing. It's an apocalyptic western, basically. I do recommend you pick up the trade paperback just to flesh out some of the background. But it's a great comic. It's on 2 issues strong so far, so it's easy to get the ongoing comic. $3.99 cardstock cover, very, very, very beautiful artwork, and a great, fascinating, tough as nails sci-fi western. Again, I'm not going to give it 10 out of 10. Reserve that for the comic week. 9.5 out of 10. And another fantastic comic, all the way from the cover to inside, is Birds of Prey #9. I love that cover. The art this time, what I do like with this, even though when you have changing artists, apart from the first story arc, when you have one filling artist for one issue, they've been using different artists, but they've stuck up for the story, and then they move on to a different artist. And the artist on this one is Jonathan Case and Gavin Goudet, and Jodie Bellaire on colours. And I think her colours really match the art on this, really nice, and much more than she has with some of the other teams. It is just gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. Kelly Thompson is having a time of her life writing this comic. She's taken the Birds of Prey team into areas where they've never been before. It's a great action-packed superhero vigilante team book, but with this surreal element, what wouldn't feel out of place in a Doom Patrol comic. But it doesn't feel weird for the sake of being weird. It just feels weird because it feels like it's necessary for the storyline. And it's one of my favourite comics. The artwork, even when it's different teams like this, it's just so dynamic. Kelly Thompson writes the best Cassandra Cain I've read, period. And I love how she treats Black Canary. She's cool as fuck, basically. Yeah, another 9 out of 10. Do buy this comic. It's 9 issues deep now, but I'm sure you'll be able to get it quite easily. I think there's a collection coming out as well if it's not already out for the first 6 issues. So 9 out of 10. And Marvel's going to get some love from me this week. Can you believe it? I hate The Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells, pardon me. I'm not saying pardon me because I'm saying I hate Zeb Wells. But because I'm snotty because of hay fever. Yeah, I hate the Amazing Spider-Man run with Zeb Wells doing it. It's awful, it's shit. And I love Spider-Man. So this is giving me this along with Spectacular Spider-Man is giving me my Spider-Man fix. This is like comic set before the Green Goblin became the Green Goblin. So there's this like prototype Goblin. I think it's called Proto Goblin or Red Goblin or something like that, which is this guy here. This is written by James DeMatteis, who's one of the best Spider-Man writers going. Really nice artwork. by Michael Star Maria. I just love this artwork. It's like almost like classic and modern fused together. But you can tell Jim DeMatteis has such a love for the character of Peter Parker. He brings so much heart to this comic, and the story beats are just fantastic. He writes the best Sandman. He really makes him such a lovable failure of a supervillain. You know, he's just a supervillain out of desperation, unlike a lot of supervillains. And yeah, again, this is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. I do recommend picking this up because it's only going to be 4 or 5 issues, and we're on issue 2 so far. And this is a comic I said I was going to stop with issue 1, but I looked through it on the shelf and thought, I'll give it a try because I keep on bailing on this title, this character after 1 issue. And this is Deadpool. This is issue number 2 by Cody Ziegler, and artwork by Roque Antonio. And it clicked. This comic clicked for me. It didn't feel like a Cody Ziegler comic in the first issue. It felt like he was just aping what's gone before too much. But this time he found his beat. It's humorous without being stupid, which is what puts me off a lot of other Deadpool comics where they're just stupid for the sake of being stupid. But this has got Cody Ziegler's sense of humour, which is very strong and very subtle, almost like a JLA kind of humour. And he's fleshing out the supporting characters, and it's a fun comic. I would give this an 8 out of 10, and the artwork's pulling together as well. So he's making me love Deadpool, so I'm really pleasantly surprised by that. Now, next up are the comics I got for half price. So I won't go deep into these, but the first batch I got the 3 issues. So like I said, you bought 10 comics and you got them for half the price if you did that free postage. So we've got the Chris Claremont Wolverine Madripoor Knights miniseries, the first 3 issues that are out at the moment. It's fun. I wouldn't have bought this normally, but because I've got it for like £1.80 a comic, if not less, I thought, why not? So I'll continue. I think there's only another issue to get. It's set around the time of that issue by Jim Lee where there was Captain America, Black Widow and Wolverine back in the Second World War. So this is like a companion piece to that. And it's actually not bad for a modern Chris Claremont comic. It's not overly verbose. It's not as clunky as it can be. There's a bit of repetition of some of his catchphrases, what he uses. And he seems to flip about for each character. But apart from that, the artwork's solid enough. The artwork is by Hector Salazar. Yeah, it does nice. Cheesecake, nice beefcake. It's enjoyable. It's a B-grade movie in a comic. 6.5 out of 10. And I'm going to carry on. Just got 1 more issue. And then another one that I was going to stop, but again, it was half price, so it cost me like £1. £1 for those who aren't from the UK. And that's Sam & Switch Case Files number 2. Artwork's really nice. I do not like the lettering. I hate the lettering. The writing by Tom McFarlane, it's workmanlike. It's Tom McFarlane. Don't expect Shakespeare from his writing. Will I carry on? I think I'll just keep on buying it if I see it cheap. It's a by-the-books crime comic. You can kind of predict what's going to come before it arrives. It's your classic 90s serial killer 7 kind of vibe. 6 out of 10. Artwork gives 7 out of 10. And then another comic I got, because the artwork kind of starts my buzz. Umin Naran, because it's a celebrity in brackets writing it. So it's Nicole Maines writing it, who was Dreamer in the Supergirl TV series. But she's a good writer. Who'd have believed it? And I'm not buying it just because she's trans, because I don't buy comics on the strength of the writers. But yeah, she surprised me. And artwork by Eddie Barrows is really nice. It's a nice, solid art. He reminds me of somebody, but I just can't put my finger on it. So this is the first 2 issues. This is kind of like a countdown, as it says on here, to Absolute Power, because I'm going to get invested in that. That's the one event I'm going to get this year, because it doesn't cross over too much. That's all. So yeah, it builds you up. So basically, Dreamer's been forced into working for Amanda Waller on this Suicide Squad, and yeah, she's got a good grasp of all the characters. The artwork's nice. It's a fun, quick, breezy read. It zips on by. It's only 4 issues, and I'm surprised that it's only going to be 4 issues because it's a lot of story for 4 issues. So yeah, so it's basically about the machinations of Amanda Waller, how she manages to twist people to do her bidding for her, and she just gets people just by lying to them. Basically, she's even got a nephew working for who's Deadeye, and he's realising that his auntie's not that nice a person, and it's good. Yeah, a solid 7 out of 10. I'll carry on with that. And this was a comic I was going to stop just for financial reasons, but now that I'm going to stop the Ultimate lines, I think I'll carry on, and that's Batman and Robin, and this is number 8. Different artist on it this time. And it's Nicola, I can't remember if he did the last issue, Nicola Samajiska, very nice artist. It's a really nice Man-Bat. So this is the Man-Bat storyline. I do like how Joshua Williams is making Man-Bat a big bad now. And he's not just a creature feature kind of character anymore. He's becoming quite a good villain in his own right. Yeah, it's a solid comic. I'd give this a 7.5 / nearly 8 out of 10. So I'm going to carry on with that. And then I got 5 more comics to round out my half price deal. So I got finished off Blade, so I got 8, 9 and 10. I do not like, this is what put me off Blade initially. I hate how in the middle of the storyline they do it with Marvel do it with all the comics, where they bring in another artist for an issue, and their art is completely different and very poor compared to the ongoing artist. So I love the Casagrande artwork, the Elena Casagrande artwork. The artwork that they do is fantastic, amazing, stylish. That's what made me try Blade in the first place. But then somebody like another artist like called Pinty comes on, Valentina Pinty, and they are so poor. It's so bad. And when there's like scenes of violence, when that gets cut off, it looks like a child's drawing. You can just see like a circle where the neck was, and just like this red, and it's. But then she comes on for the final art run on the last issue. The main artist, Casagrande, was it? Yeah, Casagrande. And it's great. And I love Brian Hill's version of Blade. But it feels very truncated because it feels like Edisora said, we've got to shut it down now because we're doing this big event of Blood Hunt, and Blade's going to be a major character in it. So I feel like the writer's been given short shrift, and we as readers have been given a bit of a short shrift because of that. It does hope we're coming back soon. I hope we keep the same writing team on it. As a whole series, I'd give the series a 7.5 out of 10. I think that's the only way I could rate it, because like I said, I'd give it a higher rating if it hadn't been truncated with the final storyline. I feel like it got cut short too soon. But yeah, I'm glad I finished it off anyway. And another comic that I thought I'd never buy, I just thought, I think I didn't look at it properly on the shelves, so I thought I'll give it a try because it's half price. So I've got Ghost Rider Final Vengeance 1, got the Texero cover, and 2. So in this series, if you're not aware, the Hood has now become the Spirit of Vengeance. And it actually works, to be honest. I enjoyed this more than I gave up on the previous Ghost Rider series by Benjamin Percy, because it felt a bit uneven. This feels much more together. It feels much more like a horror comic. It feels much more like the Hood is a better vessel for the Spirit of Vengeance. And I didn't think I would actually end up being saying that, because I'm a big Johnny Blaze fan. But there we go. I'm enjoying this, and John Blaze is still in the background, so there'll be some kind of confrontation soon, I should think. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the writing. The only thing that puts me off this is the colouring. The colouring is very much Image 90s colouring, where they try and mould the inks with the colours, and they don't need to. It can be flat colour, it would work, it would look fine, it would look better. So, because of the colouring, I would give the comic 7 out of 10. If the colouring was better, I'd give it 8 out of 10. And yes, I'm going to carry on with this. So that's it. There will be a special coming out as soon as I get the books. So I've ordered an Essential Judge Dredd book. This is the larger formats, like deluxe collections that are focused on major storylines through the Judge Dredd history. Because I was getting the Judge Dredd case files, which are like the chunky, like small American size comic size books. So what I'll do when I get it, I'll do a compare and contrast to the formats, and so you can see and get an idea which might be the best format for you. Okay, so that should hopefully be done sometime this week. Okay, bye. Love you. Ah, no, I don't love you. I don't know you. I thought I was talking to my daughter then. Don't get old. It's not worth it. Okay, bye. Speak to you soon. Bye bye. Oh dear.